Hi, this is Kevin with KGMJAM, owner of Pro Advertisers Club, a totally free site to advertise. Go to proadvertisersclub.com and join for free today and start advertising for free. Tomorrow's drop at 8 a.m. Pacific or 11 Eastern, Daredevil Elektra statue. I think there's 4 of them. $50 to get in. If you get one, you won't know to what you got till you get it. 12,850 on that's the common. That's the uncommon. 9,850. 6,850. That's for the ultra rare. And here's the third secret rare I think they have of the collectibles. No, you get the Spider-Man, Storm, Spider. This would be the fourth one. 2,802. So yeah, definitely worth having. That'd probably be at least 1,000 or more. But can you believe the paper hands on the golden moments right now? You know, you got to do what you got to do. Only you know what, and sure, they're going to still probably triple their money. I think most of them are going for 180 or above. I saw some down around 100 earlier today. But I'm just saying it's like I saw this on All Day. You went through all these hoops and did everything you could to get yourself in a position to get something that you'd probably want to hang on for a while because in the long run, if it works out like we want it to, it could be life changing. And to just give it away for pennies. I mean, I know 200 bucks is a lot of money for people. I'm not saying it's not, but I don't think a lot of us can even get the money out right now. Maybe they can. I don't know. So why not just sit on it? There's probably 500,000 or more people going for those today, and you hit the lotto, and instead of just keeping it, you flip it. I'll never understand that. But to each their own. But thank you, because it's good to have nice cheap prices like that, right? This is going to be a quick one. There's nothing really else going on that as far as drops on the platforms I use. But I wanted to point something out. I've been wanting to say it, and it's about the 6% fee that Disney does. And you can't count. You're going to have to count it the 10% for Veve, but that's not Disney. That's separate from Disney. That's going to whatever Veve's got to have it for to do whatever they got to do with it. So I want to put in perspective what that 6% fee, what you get with it. One thing you get with it, and that is some of if you buy their product, you're now a part of some of the biggest free advertising in the history of mankind. And I'm talking about Disney Plus. And don't forget they got a Star Wars section too, and Pixar. Anything that Disney's going to be selling in the metaverse or online NFTs, and all this is tied together. This will be advertising for you 24/7. They don't have the Elektra movie on here yet. I was going to use that as an example. I think it's still on Netflix maybe. But if you're buying these for a long-term investment or to flip, it doesn't matter. You have a platform that is, I think they're expecting 280 million people by 2024. They're now at over 180. They were, they're probably higher than that now. They were like at 130 or 180, and it's exploding. And they're starting to crank up the Disney Plus shows that you can't see in the movies. But this is the timeline. This is probably the most powerfulest part of the platform as far as I'm concerned. And it's just like in the comic books when they would have to take writers and artists and assign them maybe 3 or 4 comics, and they'd work on those comics for 3 or 4 months, and then they'd move them to something else, whatever whatever was hitting, whatever they wanted to support, and then they'd move the lesser. I don't like to use that word, but maybe not as gifted writers and artists, and put them on the other issues and move them around so the artwork was always changing, the storyline was always changing. They would sometimes go in the past, sometimes they'd go in the future, but they'd always have little boxes that said this took place between issues da 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 da, and it gave them total freedom to jump around and do whatever they want. Okay, and that's what Disney Plus is doing and going to be able to do with the Marvel Madness, Doctor Strange. That explains how it's all possible. And I hate time travel stories just like I do zombie. There's just been so much of it. I'm over it. But I got to admit, once I got into it and understand what they're doing with it, I get it. I see why they needed to do that, and I'm glad they did. So getting back to what this is with Veve, um, the every time you got people in India, China. I don't know about Russia anymore. I don't know if they pulled out, whatever. But all over the world are watching these advertisements for your product. And when I say your product, it's whatever you bought on Veve because you own it. Yes, they have the IP right. They got the right to the likes or the image of that Captain America, but you own that product and you're in the store. The same store. If Elon Musk buys some Veve stuff, you have the access to the same store that he does, the same customers, and all you have to do is underbid them or underprice them or whatever to beat them out. Okay? That's the power of the Veve platform and any platform that's like that. Uh, so 24/7. So let's say you bought a golden moment today or whatever you own that's Disney. 24/7, you have free advertising going on 365 days a year, and it's going to push them towards Veve because I think they've already advertised Veve in Europe. I think I read. So now I have no proof of this, but they are tying everything together. And they did, the proof of that is with the drop of the comic book, The Amazing Spider-Man 130 the other day on Thursday at 10 a.m. They did that to attract the um, Marvel Unlimited people over to the Veve platform and introduce them to NFTs, unless they were already in it. Like I was one of those who was already into it. Okay, so that they kind of reversed it instead of trying to attract to. They get it both ways. It doesn't matter. So all day, every night, all year long, you're getting free advertising for that product. One, you've stored it away for 5 to 10 years, or whenever you decide you want to sell it, or you literally have opened up a store. You've got so much product, or adding. Maybe you're just buying $5 comics all day long, every day, once a month, whatever. Your store is now being promoted because I can see a day where they're going to have the little Veve symbol somewhere on Disney Plus, uh, uh, and vice versa, back and forth. Click a button and you're there. They're some instant access to each other, back and forth. They're tying Marvel Unlimited. Same thing with the Star Wars stuff. Same thing with the Pixar stuff. It just gets bigger. This is the metaverse. It's not all of it. It's just the beginning of it. But when you're watching Netflix, Disney Plus, you're in the metaverse. When you bank online, you're in the metaverse. You're in the very early stages of it, and it's supposed to get bigger and better. I mean, you see the commercial from Facebook slash Meta now, the one where the kids are all in the museum, and it's a very creepy, weird, uh, like they're dropped acid type. So I just don't think that was it didn't come across as like what the hell, but it is what it is. But it's going to be it's going to be very uh, whatever it is now, all the stuff you like now, and then just multiply that by 10 times once they get it right. At first, when you look at some of the early stuff, you're like, I don't like the look of that. I don't, that doesn't attract me. But do you not find yourself online more and more every day doing everything? And that's the way it's going. So the next time you're thinking, yeah, that 6% sucks, but if you work it into your business model, that you can't get advertisement for that cheap. That's that powerful. I mean, you're talking Google level advertisement to eventually, they're predicting 300 million people by 2024 with direct access. If you're on the floor, if your item's on the floor, that 300 million people have access to your product first. And if, unless you've been in sales or any kind of sales, and you understand how valuable and hard it is to be in that position, and it's just part of the, all you got to do is pay that 6%, which you don't have a choice. You have to pay it, but it is definitely worth it as long as you factor it in to your business model. Because if you're buying and selling and you don't got that, it's actually, six, well, it's another 10 when you take it out. So maybe the business model for a while should be not to take it out, right? Because it's supposedly supposed to go down later on. But I've seen people selling things that I've added the 8, because Veve takes another 2.5. So let's say a total of 20%, and they're not getting that 20, so they're losing money. And it's just on stuff that can make them a lot of money down the road if they were just more patient. I think. I don't have no proof of that. That's what I hope. That's what we all hope. And from what I see, I'm pretty sure that's where it's going. We're just going to have to be patient. But and with this right here, going back to the Disney Plus and connecting the comics, all these stars, like Thor's last movie, Hemsworth, could be this next movie, Love and Thunder. Okay. But what's cool about this now is anytime they want to bring him back, God, I hope they do more Widow movies. I was upset when they got in a fight about the money. But if they want to bring her back, etc., they can with this timeline, because as long as they don't disrupt the time, which they really can now because of uh, the way it's being portrayed with the universe of madness, time flux, and all that. There, hold on, let me get rid of that. The the time flux. You now could bring like Captain America, Evans. You can bring him back and make either shows on Marvel Plus or movies that fit in on this timeline. And you don't. It doesn't have to be a movie that's happening in the future. And let's go all the way to the end. The latest thing that dropped was on uh, during December, I think, and that's Hawkeye. Okay, so it could happen way back here, because just like in the comics, there's thousands of adventures that happen with with the heroes that don't have anything to do with the current timeline. It just depends on where they want to go with it. The Eternals actually extends thousands and thousands of years, so they can go all the way to the beginning of the timeline. So it's something that they can really have a lot of fun with, and as a fan, you're it's just going to be, you know, as long as they keep a team together that has is passionate about as we are about our Star Wars and Marvel and all that stuff. But anyway, I'm rambling, so I'm going to go. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and any links below if you want to join. It helps me out. And if you got any questions, just shoot me a comment. Thank you.